What's up, YouTube? This is Ultimate Shield 340 back at it again with another Division 2 video. This is my first time playing the Division after the new update. I have been out for a little bit. Some of you probably who watch my channel for a little while have known this now for a little bit because I mentioned it in a few videos now here at this point. But I am a new father, so I am looking after my baby girl and taking care of my wife. And so family comes first, as you all know. So I am sort of slowing down on the content only temporarily, and trying to make content in between times where, everything's a-okay with my family. This is one of the dailies that I am just running for this week. I kind of wanted to kind of get some content in because I didn't know how much time I was going to have. I kind of wanted to do something relatively quick for your viewing pleasure for right now. As of recently, I actually had a special opportunity to run some Destiny 2 content with a fellow YouTuber and somebody who I would say is somebody I look up to in the YouTube community. His name is Ronan Kazi. He was one of the very first, people who really, talked a lot about tactics and things in the Division 2. And one of his videos really stuck out to me, which was called Why Help Other Players, which actually talked a lot about shepherding. And he went into this whole thing about why it's important for you to help others. And I really, really like that. And so he had a Vile Jammer build. And so he talked about the build, why it was great, and what to use, and why to use it, and how you can, sort of use it as a template for some of your own gameplay. And as you all know, I talk a lot about him and Rich and a lot in my videos because I really look up to a lot of those guys in the Division community. And, it's actually rather interesting, because I never really even thought that I would be making YouTube content until Ronan Kazi really inspired me to do so on my end. And, I decided that I wanted to, kind of try that out and, make some content. So, although, unfortunately, I was kind of a dummy, and I, unfortunately, did delete the clip of me and him playing Destiny 2 together. That's, unfortunately, my bad. I still wanted to go ahead and put out a shout out that, of course, you're going to be seeing the two of us play a little bit more Destiny 2 together, and you'll also get my perspective on what we were doing and how we're doing it, as well as, I continue to put out content for Division 2, Destiny 2, and also Hogwarts Legacy. So be prepared to, have a lot of that stuff incoming as things continue. That being said, we are here trying to do this daily, and we're kind of running into a lot of trouble just from the very beginning. I am I am using my Max Blind status effect build, which I'll go ahead and I'll link in the card, which should be an icon at the top of the screen at some point. Hopefully it'll show up there. I'm trying to, expand my editing skills and see what I can do to sort of, put a little extra flair to my videos, and hopefully that'll work out in the editing process. As you can see here, I actually chose the EMP sticky to deal with the Black Tusk and their electronics, and this way, on the one hand, I can use the blind to take care of the human enemies, and then I can use the EMP sticky bomb to incapacitate any of the electronic enemies. So that's the idea behind the build. One thing that you may remember me saying about this build, one of the downsides is that it does not have any inherent survivability beyond the armor kits. So in the event that I get smoked or anything, I don't have like armor regen, I don't have any repair skills on this, because everything has been dedicated to skill haste and status effects, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's also something that I have to be aware of, and I need to make sure that I am being careful in what I do, and both try not to use too many armor kits, but then also not play as recklessly. one of the biggest reasons why I decided I wanted to kind of change that is because with the new exotic, the Ninja Bike backpack that has come out, I know nothing about it. I don't know the stats. I don't know what it does. I know zero about the Ninja Bike backpack. And so, one of the conversations I was having with my fellow YouTuber Ronan Kazi is that, I wanted to kind of move away from using the same things that I use over and over again, like the Memento backpack, and maybe use some other things to sort of diversify some of my builds. I don't have anything against Memento backpack or anything like that, but it's not, it doesn't have to be on every single one of my builds either. And furthermore, there's a lot of really great backpack talents like Opportunistic, as you see me using here, which actually can really go a long way in making a build, kind of making it your own way. So I kind of wanted to get away from that a little bit to sort of diversify things a little bit. So as you see here, I'm using a blind status effect to incapacitate large groups of people. I am stacking the opportunistic on as many people as I can, and I'm trying to get a lot of these bosses down. And as you can see here, he's kind of incapacitated, and I'm using the EMP sticky. Now what I should have done is I should have actually looked a little bit around the room. As you can kind of see in the top, we are a bit surrounded and one of our teammates goes down, and I need to make sure that I am prioritizing the electronic enemies. If I have the EMP sticky, that is what I should be doing rather than using it on the human enemies. And not that it's necessarily a bad thing if I use it on the human enemies, but the problem is that it doesn't really cause them any damage. It does give a status effect, and it does actually proc tag team in the build, which is good, but again, it's better for me to proc it on the electronic target. So something to keep in mind for later. So we're able to get past this room with not too much trouble, but I'm noticing, keeping an eye out, being mindful of my teammates. We're struggling a little bit through all of this, so not that there's anything wrong with my teammates or anything like that, but I just like to kind of keep a mental note of that, just so that I kind of know, do I push up, do I stay back a little bit? And I decided, because we're struggling a little bit, I need to make sure that, if anything goes wrong, that, we are, or I am able to res people and bring them up in the event that we are having a lot of trouble. So here at this point, I set up and I try and mark as many targets as I can, release the blinder firefly, and kind of let it do its thing. So as you can see, one of the things I really enjoy about the division is now this is going to sound a little weird, I guess, maybe, but I enjoy watching those status effect icons across the board. Like, it's very, it makes me happy to see all those status effects rolling around, and targets are marked and a lot of people are incapacitated. So one of the biggest strengths of the build is being able to lock down multiple targets. One thing that Ronan Kazi said in a lot of his videos is that he said that the blind status effect is pretty much OP, and he said he stopped using it because he said it made things a lot easier. And I 100% agree with that. Being able to lock down multiple targets, as you can see here, and just sort of making it open season on the enemy team because they're so incapacitated it does make content a lot easier to get through. But for me, I just enjoy being able to do all those things. And he didn't knock the blind or anything like that. He was just making a statement, and I'm not taking it like that at all. It's just a new way to play, and I usually try and feature it in some of these videos just so that you are aware that there are different ways to play that are a little bit off meta, rather than doing something like, say, all reds or a pure turret and drone build, which is, I would say, pretty standard across the board for meta as far as like clearing heroic content and legendary, especially with the turret and the drone. I wanted to give you, just a look at something, a different way to play. So, keep that in mind. So coming into this room, I really like to come up to the top of these steps personally. I usually like to do a very, I like to overlook the entire battlefield and kind of stay up high. This way I can kind of keep an eye out on my teammates and support them whenever I need to. As well as this build actually does very well with both marking a lot of targets and being able to lock down a lot of people. So I kind of need to be back a little bit to get people coming out of the spawns, as you can kind of see here. And so when I let the blinder go, then the blinder can actually lock down quite a few people. Now the problem is that, as you can already see on the left hand side, I actually did have somebody already kind of run up the steps and kind of shoot me or whatever. So luckily I was able to sort of dispatch him before he caused too much damage. But I'm kind of being a little bit mindful of that, as you can see here, which is why I'm kind of focusing on this side of the map. And I'm able to shoot him with the EMP sticky and continue to proc tag team and get those things rolling with the build. So one thing that is somewhat of a problem at this moment is that we aren't really focusing specific targets. The turret on my left is actually doing a really good job of kind of keeping the turrets that I'm looking for down, but my teammates in general were not focusing on the same target. Now, I don't know why my EMP sticky didn't fire off like it was supposed to. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things about the division that, again, I hate. And I'm noticing I can't use my blinder on this guy, that thing that's shooting straight ahead. So I shoot my EMP sticky, and unfortunately I do miss. So that's rather unfortunate. But the reason why I bring that up is that if you're going to use this build, or you're going to use the blinder Firefly, it's good that you recognize that there are certain enemies that you cannot blind. If you cannot blind them and it doesn't even register as a target, then it is an electronic. And so although I can't really see that electronic that's shooting me out in the distance very well, I know it's an electronic, which is the reason why I need to aim with it with my EMP sticky. So just as a kind of a heads up, side note, something to think about. And with that being said, again, my whole focus is to lock down these dogs and take care of the electronics using the EMP sticky, but then also make sure that I am taking down the human enemies by making sure that the blinder is out there blinding the foes as much as humanly possible.
done. Now finish securing the building. Isaac can't transfer the data. Might be interference from the structure. Make your way back topside.
Now, one thing I will say is that I really enjoy some of the quality of life updates since the new patch. I did notice that they added this feature where you can actually see how much inventory space you actually have in your backpack by looking at your character in between fights and things. I think that's a monumental change, and it's kind of surprises me that they didn't do a change like this sooner rather than later. But I'm not really complaining. Just it's such a simple change where I would have thought maybe they would have thought to put this in the game sooner. But I really am welcoming this new change. With the new update, there have also been some new shops added, particularly in the castle settlement. There are new shops. I have not yet been there, but I am going to probably start doing the manhunt soon, and then probably recording some of that for you as well. But for those of you who may or may not know, there is a new vendor out there in the castle settlement, which is actually really cool because I've been wondering for a very long time when they're actually going to do something with that, with that space. As you see there, I have used my signature ammo to go ahead and hit some of the heavy and try and take him down as soon as we can. Also put that bleed status effect on him, and we're able to kind of move through all of this quickly. In a previous video, I had talked about a lot about the specialization weapon, and I said already that I actually prefer the grenade launcher over the crossbow, and I am starting to like the crossbow a bit better, although the grenade launcher is still my favorite so far. But it's just like anything, a work in progress, and you'll like what you like, and you don't, you either like it or you hate it, or you kind of tolerate it. And right now I like it, but I still wouldn't say it's my favorite. But in the event that you're in a situation like I am here where you have the EMPs, this is one of the most devastating things in any skill build, when you have those EMPs out there, not allowing you to use your skills. The good news is that even though you are going to be hit with the EMP, there is a time frame where you are momentarily immune to the disruption, and you are able to quickly use a skill. Usually I try and use, like, say, an EMP sticky, or rapid fire the blinder out in that moment, but I didn't need to do it. And if you're far back enough, like I am here, you can actually still use your skills without having to be caught off guard with the EMP blast. So that being said, we're able to sort of lock that stuff down. I am able to get rid of that drone thing that's flying in the air, and we are able to take down the EMP blast so we can move on. So it's at this point I noticed one of my teammates is running a vindictive talent. It's that 3 skull icon that you see in, it will automatically come up from time to time. And it actually increases your critical hit chance and critical hit damage. So that's actually very nice for some team support. The way things work out, especially with this blind build, is that it actually works very, very well whenever people are grouped up, as you can see here. Not only am I able to mark a lot of targets using the blinder firefly, but I'm also able to hit a lot of people using the EMP blast, and continue to proc the tag team talent over and over again to permanently lock these people down. Somebody else is actually using the specialization weapon. I follow in suit to not only put on the status effect to the heavy, but also to create that explosion to make some collateral damage for the enemy team. So it's actually working out really well. They're not even able to advance because they're under so many different status effects, locked down and blinded and blown up and bleeding, and they're not really able to mount a counterattack, and that's one of the reasons why I really, really enjoy this build. Um, one one of the issues that I had was trying to figure out survivability. I think I'll have to sort of make a video about it to sort of talk about it, but I actually changed my secondary in this build from I can't remember what the actual weapon was. I want to say it might have been an MK version of an assault rifle, but I actually just swapped that out for Emmeline's guard. For those of you who do not know, which I actually learned this kind of from a different YouTuber as well by the name of Tuxedo Bandito. If you have the preservation talent, which Emmeline Guard has the perfect preservation talent, you actually don't need to kill anybody with the weapon itself for you to be able to take advantage of the 12% armor regen that you get from the talent. You just need to kill it with your skill. The downside to this is that you need to actually kill it. So even if your teammates kill it, you don't get the benefit from it. That's the downside to it. So something to kind of keep in mind if you are looking for your own build to make as well. So this is the final room, as you can see here. And again, I'm just locking down this dog and making sure that this dog doesn't, get around us and flank us and causes all manner of trouble.
System restored.
So I want to take the time out to everybody who's watched my videos and made comments and everything. I really do appreciate all of you taking the time out to watch my videos and everything. Whenever I started YouTube, I just wanted to, kind of make this as a hobby, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. There was a guy who won a fighting game tournament, and I can't remember what his name is, but when the commentator asked him, what did he want to say, he said, one of the things I love that he said, fighting games are great. And I agree with that, but I want to maybe amend that statement just a little bit. But video games are great. And what I mean by that is that, I got a chance to meet Ronan Kazi, and then I'm able to also meet and talk to Sloth Moods, who are both frequent commenters and people who watch my videos a lot in the on my YouTube channel. And it's actually very, very cool getting a chance to see and like meet people on Discord and being able to play with them. And we wouldn't have had this opportunity had it not been for the Division, YouTube, and Discord and all these things. And so video games have given us a way to sort of unite with people that you normally would not have come into contact with. And I think that is wonderful. And this is a wonderful time to both be a gamer and a wonderful time to connect with others. So something to think about. Be friendly whenever you're out there in the community. Make new friends, have fun, And I guess that's all I really have to say. This is Ultimate Shield 340 signing off, and I'll see you in the Dark Zone. Peace.
We'll need to go through the data to figure out what Black Tusk was after. But the important thing is that we got it and they didn't. Well done.